Welcome back to Digital Learning Day Live. I'm your host, Rafranz Davis, and you're watching the fourth installment in a series of live and interactive discussions about digital equity. I'd like to give a quick thanks to the Alliance for Excellent Education for organizing Digital Learning Day and this Digital Equity series as part of Digital Learning Day Live. I'd also like to thank all of the educators and students who are celebrating right now in their classrooms, and you, our online viewers. For those of you who may be hearing about Digital Learning Day for the first time or are wondering what it's really all about, I think the easiest way to explain that would be to start with an explanation of what it's not. Digital Learning Day is not about technology. It's not about trying to flood our schools with devices, and it's not about replacing textbooks with tablets. It is an opportunity to recognize teachers that are using technology to personalize learning, link student projects to the real world, help students learn how to learn, and create more authentic and relevant learning experiences that help students master the knowledge and skills they need to be prepared for college and careers. This type of learning is unavailable to too many students today, and it is especially scarce in schools primarily serving low-income communities and students of color. And that brings us to the topic of conversation for this installment in our Digital Equity series. We'll be talking about digital learning and technology as it relates to college and career readiness for science, technology, engineering, and math fields. A recent report from the National Science Foundation shows that although the percentage of historically underrepresented subgroups entering science and engineering fields has gone up slightly, these subgroups continue to be disproportionately accounted for. As an example, African American, Latino, Alaskan Natives, and American Indians made up 26% of the general population in 2010. However, they only accounted for 10% of the science and engineering workforce. And at the high school level, only 12% of Latino and 7% of African American 12th grade students scored proficient or above in mathematics on the most recent National Assessment for Educational Progress, also known as NAEP. As the need for STEM professionals increases, so must our efforts to diversify the students going into STEM fields. I invite you to join the conversation by sharing your questions, thoughts, and comments on Twitter using the hashtag DLDaySTEM. And don't forget to tune in later today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our final live webcast when we'll feature some of the tweets from our online audience. I definitely encourage you to stick around for that. For our current discussions, we've invited a team from MC2STEM High School in Cleveland, Ohio. Recognized as a school that works by the George Lucas Educational Foundation, MC2 was the only open enrollment high school in Cleveland to earn an A grade on the 2015 Ohio School Report Card. Created through a public-private partnership with Cleveland State University and General Electric, MC2 provides a real-world project-based STEM learning experience unlike any other. Students attend classes at campuses embedded in business and school sites around the city, including the Great Lakes Science Center, General Electric, and various college campuses. Their unique model and mastery-based approach has led to them consistently graduating more than 90% of students in a predominantly African American low-income community. MC2 was also selected as one of 3 winners of the 2016 Excellence and Innovation in Secondary Schools Award by the Alliance for Excellent Education. Through a rigorous review process that included more than 6 schools and districts, MC2 was selected for their effective use of technology and their success with preparing students of color for STEM fields. The two other winners of the awards were Warsaw Community Schools in Indiana and the Santa Ana Unified School District in California. For more information about all of our winners, check out the link immediately below this video feed. Now, I'd like to introduce the MC2STEM High School team joining us live via Skype. We have Phelan McKinnon, so sorry about that, is currently the head of school at MC2 and is actively involved with the Ohio STEM community. She also works as a consultant with the Great Lakes Science Center for Innovation in STEM Education, as well as the Teaching Institute for Excellence in STEM. Dr. Debbie K. Jackson is an associate professor at Cleveland State University, which also happens to be the location of MC2 High School's 11th and 12th grade campus. Amanda Smith is a community programs coordinator at Nela Park, which houses GE Lighting and Current and MC2 High School's 10th grade campus. She is the liaison between GE and the school. And I'm also thrilled to introduce Ariana West, a senior and soon-to-be graduate of MC2 STEM High School. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Ms. McKinnon, let's start with you. Tell us more about MC2 High School's unique approach to preparing students of color for STEM degrees and careers, and what role technology plays in supporting students and teachers.
Okay, great. MC2 STEM High School is the Cleveland Public High School here in Cleveland. We are 100% free and reduced lunch, so everyone is able to access the MC2 STEM High School program. We are a strictly project-based learning environment, so all of the projects that we do here last a quarter long, and all the students are able to have these authentic learning experiences throughout. As you mentioned, we're embedded across 3 campuses, so I unfortunately spend a lot of my time in my car driving from CSU to General Electric to the Great Lakes Science Center, where all of our students are housed, and working with our partners in residence to complete and create these unique, innovative project experiences.
It sounds like an exceptional learning environment and experience that I wish more of our students were able to have. Dr. Jackson, this next question is for you. One of the key strengths of the school model that Ms. McKinnon just spoke about was its dual enrollment program. There are a lot of schools that offer similar programs, but the partnership with Cleveland State University takes it a little bit further in that students have the opportunity to be immersed in the college environment as well. Could you share a little about what makes your partnership so unique?
Sure. So I think the first thing that makes the partnership unique is I am a Cleveland State University associate professor, so I have a full-time job with the university, but the university supports half of my time to spend at the high school. This is the first year for that. I've worked with the high school since it started in a variety of ways, but this is the first year that half of my time is being spent at the high school. So this year, my focus has been on moving the students from their school space onto campus and moving the campus community into the high school space to better support all of the students in their future career choices and in their current education.
That's amazing. The partnership with General Electric also seems quite innovative. Ms. Smith, can you share with us how you work with the high school to provide work-based learning opportunities and paid internships?
Yes, so one of the first capstones that the students will do when they come to 10th grade is we do an Empowering People with Light capstone, where the students are taught collaboratively with the teachers and GE employees to go through the whole NPI cycle and create an LED light fixture. This past year we had folks from human resources, marketing, communications, HR, all that come in and teach the students with the teachers and learn all about how GE makes lights. And then also we do that project along with, we have a buddy program where we pair up a student with a GE employee, and they have lunch twice a month together, go over their soft skills, talk about career aspirations, and just kind of have an adult reference for in the future when they're looking for those internships and job applications, that they have someone they can refer back to that they met with at their 10th grade. And then also the last thing we do is we have paid internships where we only offer high school internships to the MC2 STEM students. When they're in 11th and 12th grade, we hope that they come and do internships. And then that way, when they're in college, they can come back and be hired on as co-ops or interns, and then hopefully create that whole pipeline where they'll come back and work and have a career at GE.
I think that what I love most about this school, aside from the incredible and unique real-world experiences that your students have, is that you are an open enrollment campus. And typically when you hear about programs such as this, whether it be project-based learning or the focus on STEM, or even the fact that you offer students the ability to have internships during school that that account for some of their coursework at times. How do you make this work? Because with some of the challenges that we typically face in our public school systems that may keep people from wanting to try a program such as yours, I'm sure do you encounter some of the same issues with students, that whether they have access at home or whether sometimes there are attendance issues, some of the same excuses that we tend to hear for not doing it? What is your best reason for why you do it?
Well, we do that for just that reason. We know that there's a long history of students who lack the access or the exposure to the STEM fields and lack access and exposure to good programs. When we were created, we set out to have a program that was offered for everybody. We knew we were going to encounter those challenges, and we kind of just faced them head on. We didn't get scared by them. We knew we were going to face them, and we just figured out ways to work with them. One of the interesting and unique ways we do that is we are a mastery-based system. So mastery bases, all of your grades are based on experience and performance on the standards as opposed to seat time. So regardless of where students come in or what exposure they've had, we're going to expose them to the things that they need to do, give them those experiences, and work ahead from there. So students can work at their own pace. Students who need extra help can get that extra help. And never at any point are we retaining students or holding them back because they didn't have previous experience. We're just meeting them where they are and moving them ahead to where they need to be.
I love that, more than I can even express. But now that we have had a chance to hear about how the partnership works, I've saved a few questions for the most important person in this group. But first, Ms. McKinnon, would you like to introduce Ariana?
Okay, so next to me we have Ariana West. She's a student here in 12th grade. She has been with us for all 4 years. In the 4 years that she's been here, she's been a very outspoken young lady who has had all of the experiences that we've talked about. She's had a different internship every single year that she's been here. She's currently the leader of our robotics team. She takes classes off campus and on campus, earning college credits right now. She was just accepted into North Carolina A&T, and she plans to go there and major in mechanical engineering. And she's amazing.
Well, congratulations, Ariana. I'm so glad to have you. My niece just graduated from North Carolina A&T, so I'm extremely excited that you're going there. It's an incredible school. So I guess what I would really like to know is, I noticed that I've just heard you've had internships all 4 years. And so how have those internship learning experiences compared with your in-class experiences?
The internships give me a real world experience. It lets me figure out what's going to happen when I leave high school and college. Each year I did something different. So 9th grade was, we would go to NASA as a school, and we would do like stuff with the NASA people who worked at the Glenn Research Center. 10th grade, like Miss Amanda said, we did the stuff with the GE, and I also did some things with the National Youth Sports Program at Case Western Reserve University. 11th grade, I was on the robotics team. Also in 10th grade, I was on the robotics team. And this year, I will be doing pretty much the same thing on the robotics team and working at Case.
Oh, wow. So you have a pretty exceptional and hefty schedule at doing that. What advice would you give for, let's say, students who do not have a school that is created in the same manner in which yours is? And I'm going to, I guess, throw it out there that I think that those real world experiences are exceptionally important. Why should students have that type of learning where they do get to experience some real world decision making and problems that they get to solve? Why is that important, even for students that are not in a school like yours?
I think that's important because you don't want to just get hit with it when you get out there. You want to be eased into it. You don't want to have to just go into shock when it happens to you.
Absolutely. And you said, what did you say what your major was going to be at North Carolina?
Mechanical engineering.
Why did you choose mechanical engineering?
Since I'm on the robotics team, I like to figure out the way that things work and how they're made. Like even the slightest thing like a gear can make a difference in if something works or not.
I love it so much. I have the honor of mentoring our Lufkin High School Panther bots, and it's pretty amazing watching the students grow and learn these new skills that they would not have had otherwise. One last question for any of you that would like to answer. Can you please tell me about the makerspace that you're in right now?
Well, we're in our Fab Lab right now. MC2STEM High School is actually the first high school in the world to host an MIT Fab Lab, and now they've been replicated and are included in a lot of different high schools and makerspaces. So this is an official MIT Fab Lab. In our Fab Lab, we're surrounded by a lot of different equipment. If you were in here, you would see how messy it really is. We have some 3D printers behind us, laser cutters, a shop bot, and really, by the time the students are in 11th grade, they know how to use all of this equipment and what it's good for. So they spend their time in their other classes thinking about these ideas and things they want to create, and then they bring them to life here. They really get the opportunity to just play around and see what they can make. And right before we got on the call, I was asking Ariana what her favorite thing that she ever built in the Fab Lab was, and do you want to tell us?
In 10th grade, me and my friends, we were going to the U.S. Science and Engineering Festival that year, and we made a sword. It was very fun. It was all made out of wood. We made it on the shop bot too.
That is
and she
amazing.
said it was immediately confiscated because she shouldn't make weapons in school. But you can really, anything you think of or want to make, you can come into the Fab Lab here and make it. And our school is unique because this place is actually open to the public. So on Saturdays and after school, anyone who wants to come in and learn, our students work here and teach the community how to run a Fab Lab and work in a Fab Lab.
I think that is the best idea that I have heard on having a makerspace in your school that you open up to the community. And I'm pretty sure I might not have time to ask this, but I have to. What made you come up with that idea? Because that's phenomenal.
Fab Labs and makerspaces are not just for existence in schools. They really are to be open to the community. We're in an interesting age here where everybody has access to the technology and everybody has the ability to kind of think through and learn on their own. But what they don't have is the supplies, materials, and equipment to put their ideas into play. So the Fab Lab is supposed to be a community space and a space where communities can get together and work together on different designs. And then on our end, of course, the benefit of us is what better way to learn how to do something than to teach someone else. So when we make our kids come in here, we don't make them, they get paid. But when they come in here and work for us, they're teaching other people how to do it, and they're having that experience and teaching others.
This has truly been a remarkable experience, and I honestly can't think of a better way than to wrap up this discussion, hearing, of course, directly from Ariana, but from your entire team. And believe me, your passion was completely felt on my side, and I'm sure on our audience watching. And I hope that people can take away just that idea of what it's like when you give kids not only real world experiences, but as you end it with creating a bridge between your students and the community. That's powerful learning. Thank you to the entire MC2 team for joining us. And a special congratulations to Ariana on your impending graduation and acceptance into North Carolina A&T. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And on that note, I'd also like to thank all of you that are watching live and sharing your thoughts and comments on Twitter using the hashtag DLDaySTEM. I encourage you to continue connecting with each other and our featured guests using their Twitter handles included below this video feed. We hope that you'll continue this very important conversation on digital equity, not just online, but in your local communities and schools as well.